The night Remy was killed, the streets were quiet. Too quiet for a Thursday in New Haven's Newhall-Veal neighborhood. The usual sounds of late-night chatter, rumbling car engines, and the distant echoes of a stereo playing classic Nas or Biggie were absent, as if the whole block was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Sondo heard about Remy's death early that morning, and the news hit him like a punch to the gut. Remy had been more than just a lieutenant in his crew. He was family. They'd come up together, two kids navigating the unforgiving streets, bound by loyalty and a shared hunger to survive. Remy was one of the few people Sondo trusted in a world where trust was as scarce as sunlight in the dead of winter. Now, Remy was gone, murdered in cold blood. No witnesses, no suspects, just a bloodstain on the sidewalk and a lot of unanswered questions. Sondo wasn't the type to rely on the police, but two detectives had already made their interest in Remy's murder all too clear. Detective Maniac and Detective Psycho. The two were infamous in New Haven. They were known for running their own hustle on the side, shaking down dealers, pocketing cash, and taking a cut from nearly every big deal in the city. In a place where cops were just another gang with badges, Maniac and Psycho were at the top of the food chain. Maniac, real name Marcus Bristow, was as brutal as they came, built like a linebacker, and with a nasty temper to match. People said he got his nickname from the way he went at people in the interrogation room, but Sondo knew better. Maniac wasn't crazy. He was just a predator who liked the thrill of the hunt. Then there was Psycho, or Frank DeLuca, a wiry man with a penchant for psychological games. He was the one who played the long game, letting Maniac do the dirty work while he watched, waiting for people to crack under the pressure. Psycho loved to remind people that he didn't need his fists to hurt them. He could ruin their lives with a single phone call or make them disappear without a trace. Together, they were poison, and they had been hounding Sondo since he'd taken over the crew. Now, with Remy gone, Maniac and Psycho had their sights set on him, acting like they were investigating the murder when Sondo knew they were sniffing for a payday. The next day, Maniac and Psycho showed up at Sondo's place unannounced, strutting into his apartment as if they owned it. Maniac leaned against the wall, arms crossed, while Psycho took a seat, flashing that wolfish smile of his. "So, Sondo," Psycho began, his voice like a snake's hiss. "We're very sorry about your friend. Really, we are. You and Remy were close, weren't you?" Sondo kept his expression neutral, refusing to give them an inch. "Yeah, Remy was family." Psycho tilted his head, feigning sympathy. "Family, huh? Well, family's important. See, that's what we're here for. We want to help you figure out who did this." "Cut the shit," Sondo snapped. "You two don't give two fucks about Remy. You want something. So what is it?" Maniac grinned, showing his teeth. "See, DeLuca? I told you he was smart. That's why he runs things around here." "Look, Sondo," Psycho continued, his tone shifting to something colder, more direct. "We know Remy was into some things. Heard he had a little operation on the side. And we know he was about to come into some money. A lot of money." Sondo's stomach dropped. He'd known Remy was making moves, but he didn't realize just how far those moves had gone. Remy had kept things close to the chest, even with Sondo. Whatever he was doing, it must have been big if it caught the attention of Maniac and Psycho. "So here's the deal," Psycho said, leaning forward. "We want you to find out who killed your friend. You do that, and we'll overlook some things. Maybe help you keep the block from falling apart. You could use a couple allies right now, couldn't you?" Sondo clenched his jaw. He hated them both, hated everything they stood for, but he had no choice. If he wanted to find Remy's killer, he needed to play along.
I'm just trying to hit another lick and put my dogs on. Free my niggas till I see my niggas, cause we all wrong. Pour a lick and roll another with you, this my song, y'all. Funeral rules, I just miss my dudes that I could call on.